A huge shout out to the overthinkers.
An overthinker. He watches the show.
To the overthinkers, shout out Buffet too.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando kuphela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke buphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Welcome to the show. Welcome. My beautiful semi-finalists, guys. My beautiful semi-finalists. This is the Overthinking Football Show. My name is Jose Mukwena. I am your host. The show is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. during AFCON. It's going to be here, 7 p.m. For the next week. And then Fridays, we are on at 12:30, where my breadwinners, the people that contribute to the show, get to jump in and steer the show, man. They get to steer the show. So, also, excuse me. Ooh, wow. And also, if you want to join one of my panels, if you want to jump in and be in one of my panels, if you're listening on Facebook or on YouTube, just know that you can join them by following me on TikTok, joining me now while I'm live on TikTok. There's a button at the bottom of your screen that says multi-guest. Click on multi-guest, request, I'll let you in, and we can have a conversation where you can jump in live and speak about what we're speaking about today. Today, we're going to speak about something that hasn't been done in many years. Bafana Bafana has made it through to the semi-finals of AFCON 2023. I think we went ahead and beat Capo Verde, one of the more dangerous teams in the AFCON. They won their group. They've been beating people left, right, and center. And they came to us, and just like Morocco did, just like Tunisia, just like Namibia, they came to us, and it was 0-0 at the end of a full time, 0-0 after extra time, and it went to penalties, where you see this man, that's almost breaking Uta Bruce in this picture. Uta Bruce. The guy that's almost breaking Uta Bruce, Ronwen Williams, was able to save 4 penalties. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They only scored 1. And if it wasn't for Modiba missing and Lepasta missing, maybe it would have been a different story when we speak about what those penalties looked like. But before I open up, let me just say, I want to give Capo Verde, I want to give them their props. Let's be honest, we were outplayed. They had the better chances, they had the better pressure, they had the better possession. Everything was better. But as Coach Peter says,
and we even have transition and what. Sometimes I don't even understand what they're saying. I say, hey, these guys are talk serious stuff. I mean, just win the game, guys.
Just win the game, guys. And one thing you cannot fault this Bafana Bafana team of not being able to do is just winning the game. Whether it's ugly, whether we don't know what's going on, whether it's not the football we want to see, whether Mudau and Mudiba are sitting back in positions that maybe they're uncomfortable in, whether Umakhupa is Makhuparing, whether anything is happening, they're able to get the results. So for me, I want to give them props. I want to continue. But last week I gave them props. I was like, no, we need to learn how to get behind this team. So I gave them props, even more props this time after they beat Capo Verde and went through to the semifinals. Now, I'm going to get a bit serious. Before I open. There are still holes. We still have an issue with our left-hand side. The left-hand side of Bafana Bafana's team is vulnerable when in defense. Sometimes our defenders get pulled out of positions, and because Umudiba doesn't have support on that side, with Upesi, Upesi is usually venturing forward and playing somewhere else, it leaves him a bit vulnerable to being overloaded. And when he gets overloaded, Stole gets moved out of position, and then Vala also gets moved out of position, and you see holes opening up within our team. We still have a bit of an issue that when Sithole and Mokoena are out helping out with the wings, right, the center of the midfield opens up, and there's nobody who's guarding the top for the second ball. In terms of our attack, we still have a bit of an issue where we chose to go route one with this game in particular, and we failed to win the second ball. So Mahupa goes up and wins the header. But after he wins the header, there's no one around him to collect that. We still have an issue with creating chances. This team doesn't create that many chances, right? Or clear-cut chances, dangerous chances. If you saw the difference between us and Cape Verde, Cape Verde was able to get the ball and be direct in their play. Boom, 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 there's a shot. Boom, 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 a corner. Boom, 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 it's gone off Mvala's thigh. Boom, 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 something's happening. There's always something that ends their attacks. There's a directness. There's a need to score that you can see. I think we're missing that, where at times we play the most beautiful football in the world. At times we touch the ball, hey, everything is good, simnandi. But in terms of attacking threat, that becomes an issue, especially because Tau's on the left-hand side going into the middle. But then, because we're playing Route 1 football, Zwane goes missing. Zwane doesn't, in this iteration of the team, he doesn't know, man, where to run, where do I go, where do I support. Percy often pops up on the right-hand side of our attack. And then Umurena is not quite sure what must I do here? So there's still issues. But I will say that even with what we perceive as issues, they've gotten the job done. They've gotten the job done. Very, very rarely have we seen an AFCON tournament where the winners, where the best performing teams, where all of that stuff play beautiful tiki-taka type football. It's usually results like what we played on Saturday night versus Cape Verde. Grinding. Sometimes holding on for dear life. And that is the order of the day when you play AFCON. And clearly, all of the nice teams, your Moroccos, all of the nice teams, your Senegals, all of the nice teams are out. Honestly, when you look at who's left, it seems as though it's the countries that haven't looked strong. I don't know if we've looked strong, but we've won, and that's all that matters. This is, of course, the AFCON of underdogs. One last thing I want to say about the way we play before I open up for everybody to be able to jump in. I think the one thing for me, and what I would do differently to Bruce, even though I don't want to take him away, what I'll do differently is the speed at which we transition, counterattack, win the ball back to get into the front. We need to speed up. I saw a comment here speaking about how Umurena, we're not using his pace. I would argue that if you allow Umurena to be more direct, you allow them to get the ball earlier up the pitch, then something might happen. The huge problem that we are having with Bafana Bafana, or the biggest one for me, and why we're not scoring and creating those chances, is that we don't have a link from goalkeeper to lower midfield to Zwane to the attack. We've got two very hard-working midfielders. Very hard-working. We've got Sithole and Mokoena, who do an incredible job cleaning up. They do dirty work. We've got two defenders in Umvala and Nokekana who are doing an incredible job defending. Incredible job, right? The issue is when you have those two behind the other two, the only way you can move forward is up the sides. And the only way you can move forward is very slow up the sides. And by the time the ball gets into danger areas, or by the time we get to a place where the other team has closed us down, you are now left to play these crosses, these long balls from desperate situations on the pitch, where even Nomahopa, as great as he's been at winning that first ball, if you start crossing, if you start putting balls in high for me when we're all the way up the pitch, I'm facing 2-3 defenders. Zwan is not gonna help. Zwan is not gonna help me in the air. Percy is not gonna help me in the air. Morena is not gonna help me in the air. So now it's left to him to jump up and try beat these defenders, right? Whereas, to answer Agent your question here, if we can transition with Mahopa, I would say if you're going to play that way, you have to make sure that Zwane or Percy Tau are active right in behind him, in and around him. So I don't know if you guys have watched football from back then, like English Premiership. No, not back then, but there was a year when Gervinho was playing with Giroud. And Gervinho went on a run where he scored 5 or 6 goals. And all they did was, you must stick to Giroud. Giroud is going to drop back. And if he puts it down, you must be there. If he flicks it forward, you must make a run. But because we're transitioning so slow, we play the ball when everybody's set. There's no space. But if you can bring Mahopa back a little bit and have him be fine, first ball, second ball must go through so that then Tau or Zwane can go. My other solution for me personally is split the team. I've said this from the beginning. I say split the team. One team is pacey, is tiki-taka, is connection. Percy Tau as a false 9 so that he can connect with Zwane. Then you have Morena. Then you have your, you could play, not Masego, you could play Mayambel on the other side. And that team's whole build-up is to be fast, counter-attacking, and for them to dance. Pito said they must dance, man. Pito said give Zwane and Tau the chance to dance. I think the problem now is that because Mahopa's there, Tau doesn't have anyone close by to dance with because Percy's too far away. Play Percy false 9. Play him with Zwane, and then have that be the attacking team. Then I would also play a back 3, back 5. And what you do is you allow Mudiba to progress up the pitch because Morena will be coming inside to dance with the others, and then have Mudiba drop into midfield. And that allows the ball to progress through Mudiba to get to the front, right? It's what Sundowns does. They have Kutsia, Mudiba. They play as sort of, how can I put it, false defenders. And then they can come together and connect the ball from there to Abumshish. The secondary part of the squad, in my opinion, is then your bomb squad, your cross squad. Who's good in the box in our team? Mahoop. Who else is good in the box in my team, in our team? Ulepasa. Last 10 minutes, last 15 minutes, last 20 minutes of a game, you put them both in, and then you progress everybody up a little bit, and you play the crosses. But I feel as though we're playing half and half, and we are killing some players to play this football that we're playing. But, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. I don't want to sound like I'm making a big deal of this. We won. And that is, at the end of the day, in tournament football, what matters. Whether you're winning because it's tiki-taka, or whether you're winning because you're playing Route 1 football, helicopter, King Mazinho.q football, you still win. So they were able to win. They were able to get through. And in as much as we can all question, this player should have been chosen. Why are they playing this football? They've done what needed to be done. They're through to the semifinals. We're about to face Nigeria. A Nigeria side that is not quite ticking. The only thing I'm afraid of in Nigeria is that Victor Osimhen tends to bully defenders. And our defenders, for as great as they've been, I don't think they've faced a team that has a striker that is a bully. I don't think, right? And I think Victor Osimhen is going to give them a bit of a run for their money. But, Selwyn. But anyway, I'm going to open it up. Please remember that you have to be following me in order to jump in and have your say on the show. The format is very simple. You're going to come in. I'm going to ask you your general thoughts about this game, and I'm going to ask you a question pertaining to the game or pertaining to Bafana Bafana, and then we can have a conversation. How you join is at the bottom of your screen. There's a button there that says multi-guest. It says multi-guest, and you have to be following me, and you are able to click on that button, request, I let you in, we have a conversation, as we always do, the beautiful conversations we have on this here platform. So I'm going to open it up now, and let's have the conversations. While I get the guys in, let me read some of the comments. Grantenvala will deal with him, says Uongaletu. The bandage will come out. Clifford says, I think we should stop classifying players with their clubs they play because they're representing SA. Hey, Clifford, for me, I only use it as examples as to how they play. So I'll tell you that Machupa is very good in the box because Machupa was incredible in the box for Ibaroka. He finishes in the box. Look at the goals that he's gotten. Machupa scores two ways. It's either it's a cross inside or it's a through ball from the top of the box. Can't give him time to trap. Can't give him time to turn. Can't give him time to try and be Nandnaye, to be a false 10 or false 9. You can't do that, right? So I'm using that. Umudiba is not a traditional left back. Sundowns uses him as a midfielder. So if you're having an issue progressing the ball from your goalkeeper to your defense to midfield to Zwane, lean on what they do. Hey guys, please mute when you come in. Lean on what they do when they play there. There's only a few players in this team that are being played directly to their strengths. Even Ronwen has stopped playing out from the back. The same Kekana, because they're not being asked to do any higher grade things, especially Kekana. Kekana doesn't play. Clear ball to Kekana, it doesn't play, right? And I think Umukwena, because Mokwena does the dirty work within that Sundowns team. So, yeah, let me not go too long. Master Icon, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hi, hey, Ngimnandi. I feel like a semi-finalist. I told you guys. How did you see the game, my brother?
Yeah, the game, man. I feel like, you see, the Morocco game, a lot of us were confident about that game, and we had that mentality that we're gonna beat Morocco. But coming to the Cape Verde game, we came as people who are actually gonna, like, not that we didn't have hope, but we knew that Cape Verde was strong. So when I compare the Morocco game and the Cape Verde game, I'd say we look like the underdogs more on the Cape Verde game than the Moroccan game, because with Morocco we knew that we had their numbers. In terms of the Cape Verde, when you check their last three features, I think they've been beating us 2-1, 2-1. The last time we beat them was, I think, about 2007 or so. And the score was about 2-1 or so. So the Cape Verde game, we came as the underdogs. There's a few criticism there and there. I saw a lot of people bashing Pesitau, but I feel like there's something we need to understand. Tau carries the name. The fact that there's Pesitau in the squad, we definitely see that, okay, there's danger. It's like Nigeria with Osimhen. Osimhen has not been scoring a lot. There's chances, obviously, you know that when he's there, the defenders are supposed to be scared. And I feel like with the African teams, they feel the same way with Pesitau. They know that he's very capable, same as Zwane. Even though he cannot play the full entire 90 minutes, but just the fact that we have Temba Zwane in the squad, it scares them a bit. So it's that. But in terms of the performance, I won't dwell much on that. There's a few mistakes there and there. We were there, like the back line, we made a few mistakes and stuff, but I'm happy that they have resilience. Or in everything that they had, they told themselves that they're going to win. And when I saw the game going to penalties, I remembered, Ronan Williams in Super Sport. That guy had me in the goals there. A lot of people couldn't score the penalty.
Yeah.
Ronan used to be a beast to Super Sport in terms of penalties, and I think that's one thing we needed. Though we missed two penalties, but he was there. But yeah, on the last game, I'd say there were less expectations from me because I knew that coming into that game we were underdogs. Whether people are gonna say we were not, or Cape Verde had our numbers. They're literally the best team in AFCON when you look at the moment. The ones that were actually playing good.
Yeah.
Nigeria's been playing, but not that. Yeah, same as the DRC, even the Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire's not been playing. They are in the semifinals because of that third spot and how they actually managed to have a draw with Mali. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to the next game.
Okay, guys. Please, can we tap the screen? Can you try get to 25,000 likes? If we can get 25,000 likes, I said, please, just tap the screen. Just do this. Like I try 3 minutes, it's fine. Just do this. It helps with the rankings and with the lives. Zeus, thank you so much for the roses. Guys, I'm going to observe protocol and I'm going to first allow Tatem Teto to come in. Tatem Teto, how are you? Oh, Tatem Teto, are you with me?
Hey, I'm sharp. How are you, Akuti?
Ke ikutlwa ke le semi-finalist, Baba Mteto, ke semi-finalist.
Hello, how are you?
Ikare, we've got a bit of an issue there, ka network. Yeah, kata, Tatem Teto.
What more if you're doing
there we
commentary
go.
on such a beautiful game? How would you feel like myself?
With those 4 penalties.
Okay, give me a moment. Let me move around. Yeah. Just give me a moment.
Okay, I'm gonna come back.
Hold on. Give me a moment.
Yeah,
I'm good right now.
no, ke go tshwere Tatem Teto.
You get me? Yeah. Do you get me now?
I've got you. I think we still have a problem. Do not do Tatem Teto. It's why we request the happy. Then I'll let you in because it's career card.
Hello? Yeah, I'm here. All right. No, okay. Imagine if you're doing commentary on that game, how would you feel? Hey, that's fine. Okay, cool. Let me do that.
Okay. I think we're just a little bit behind there. In the meantime, Tebza, welcome to the show. How are you?
Okay.
No, I feel like a semi-finalist now.
Did I manage to go out?
You understand? So yeah, I'm happy in Naga about the semi-finals. About the game, Cape Verde. It was a very tactical one. It was just getting the job done. You understand? Nothing much. It was just that you can see lega involvement there. Yes, he hasn't been in the game throughout the tournament, but Cape Verde he was worse. Understand? He was A1. But then I don't support people who say we should drop him. No, we shouldn't drop him. Understand? Who are you going to bring in? Yes, what the Mba police and all that. Sharp. I worry Rabba undermine or anything. But Tau, as Master has said, he has that Mugating factor. You understand? Just keep an eye on him. You understand? So he gives us that thing in Momo gaming. It's just that we have to utilize him. Coach must make sure already solutions for Pesita to come in the game. Understand?
Yeah.
He keeps him go lefting gaming, and we know that is one person he likes to carry the ball, he likes to take on players. Put him on the right side. Tell him be confident on the ball. Let them kick you. Do anything. You understand? Be direct. That's the only thing that I'm worried about. I really need Tau to be in the game. If he comes to the party, believe you me, Zwane will also be good because of no Zwane we won, Obama Natale won, and then Utola, obvious. You understand? But then if he has Tau and himself again, but Obama Nati, the problem is the also Makopa will benefit. You understand?
Yeah.
Makopa is seen as not doing anything because of people around him are not doing anything, and then he can only do what? Wait for the ball. He has to wait for the ball. He has to wait for service. He can make runs, but then if the people behind him don't combine, right, he won't do anything. They must know when to cross the ball because sometimes he makes beautiful runs. You understand? They must also have quick decision making when they see him. They must just pass him quickly. You understand? Because he has those beautiful runs. You understand? I get more now what he run. It's beautiful. Just that they don't pick him up early, as you said. Already half and half. They don't know where they should play those crosses or they should play 1-2 touches around the box. And understand? Happy get too many touches in the box. Rebonega game Cape Verde. Chambers one. He got 2 or 3. But maybe he could have turned and shoot. But then he decided to lay it back to someone who's coming and never look never lay. Understand? So communication again. When Motolagamo boxing, relax, you are in the box. When you are in there, my father used to say, that's the area that you should relax the most because of defenders, anything wrong. Penalty. Relax, composure at its highest level. It must be in there. You understand? So
I just want to go to point how Pesitao Zwane. You know, when Pesitao cut his hair, Keopolavari cut his hair, and was it an interview with him or somebody said, Pesitao Obata Hotman is a Hotman now. Is it time for Pesitao to maybe vacate the wing and come inside?
It may work. It may work. You understand? Because he has done it before for us also, for Bafana as well. You understand? So the guy is anything just to make Tau to be in the game again. I would welcome it. Whether he plays as a false nine, whether being a striker, anything that would get him involved more in the game, I would welcome it because of we know who are capable of doing what. Re boledisa gore re frustrated te fela gore a re bone ntwe re tlwaetseng go e bona mo tao ke yona ntwe re boledisang gore re be frustrated ka ena is because of we know his capabilities and we know gore we are currently not getting even 10% of it. We are not. So anything that would make him come back on form, I would welcome it. Mutlise Mohare closer to the strikers. Modal as a false nine and closer to Zwane, maybe what years. I would welcome it also. What so I understand that now. Yeah.
No. Tagi Tebza. Let me go to Uluvuyo. Uluvuyo, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. How are you doing there?
I'm a semi-finalist. That's all I'm gonna say. Tell me, what did you see from this game?
I'm very proud of the boys. I must be honest. They surprised me. I think a lot of people in South Africa, they were surprised with how they performed. The chemistry, the belief in one another. You know, the likes of Stole, the likes of Umvala. I think they've raised their hands. Mudau, right back. Even Mukhopa, he's got a big heart. He has proven that. I was actually one of the people who were not believing in his inclusion in the squad. But I think he's worked so hard, and it's difficult to see his work rate, Mukhopa, because if you notice, he's giving a lot of spaces for the attacking players, even though I feel he's not getting enough service.
Yeah.
But what worries me is the amount of. Let me put it this way: the past 2 games, the Morocco game and the Cape Verde game, I think we have reduced the tank from the players because we've been constantly using same bunch or same players, so to speak. When I look at the bench and when Zwane's tank is getting lower every time we play a game, I'm looking at the bench, I'm like, hey, who's going to replace this guy? And I see no one.
Yeah.
And it worries me. And if you look at the past 3 games, we all know that the substitute will be the same. And for the upcoming game, I'm just worried about how we're going to be analyzed. I'm also worried about we've played high tempo, high demanding games. Last game it was 120 minutes,
Yeah.
and we've been using the same players. I looked at Umutao in this past game. You could see that the guy is drained. You know, I think there was a player. No, the player who who, who came in as a sub. What was that?
Oh,
It's a Sunrise player.
Masego. Masego, and then he pulled a hammy.
Yes, Umaseko, yes. Yeah, it worries me. I just hope that, I know I'm going to be different a little bit. I just hope that we can maybe start Pesita on the bench on this game. I feel like we don't have so much pace up front. Pesitao is not that speedy anymore, and I just wish we can maybe surprise people by maybe starting Apolis, that speedy player. Because when we defend so well. Our midfielders and our defenders are combining so well in terms of tactical discipline. And when we break those balls, especially Stole, we don't have a pace like Apolis. You know, Tau doesn't give us that much. Maybe we must opt to put him on the bench, and then when Tembazwane is tired, then we can bring him. And then maybe we can find someone speedy. That's my take. Otherwise, the guys are doing well. Just worried about the fact that we are training the same number of players.
Okay, no, Luvuyo. Thank you. Let me go to Stormy. All right.
Olauti. Afere.
Ay, man, uma semi-final, ukangibuzi, ngimnandi. Tell me, what did you see from this game?
Hey, OT, it was one of the toughest games. Basically, sasidlala kule AFCON kanjongayo. When you compare to game Morocco, Morocco, it wasn't that hard. Igame esikwazile udlala kuyo. Xa in the game of Cape Verde, idlale nabantu who are very good on the ball, very good on transition.
Yeah.
Abane i-height yabo ebavumayo starting from the back uyotsha up front. And I think in that game we were lucky that akangaqale uBhebhe, because I tend to believe that Bhebhe is a very good player and is a point of reference kubo as a team, because when the Lachebi Konabaleni uyabona uba they can play. Now, kweleti side, i-fullbacks zethu, they are working very hard, badlala kakuhle. As a result, buyaqaphela indlela esidlala ngayo. We haven't seen uMudiba indlela aqhela udlala ngayo, because indlela aqhela udlala ngayo usually ayimvumeli asuka ehlele back. But ke ngoku coach had to come with a plan oba no, Modiba, as a left back you should stay throughout the competition sidlalayo, because intensity yele competition is too high. So you cannot risk and go up front too much. So most of the time uyaqaphela uba asibenefiti that much ngendlela esimazi ngayo uModiba. Second point, Utao, I think from the first game, ever since that miss of la penalty, Utao hasn't been himself. Secondly, Utao, I think, is playing off position, because Utao ingasahla adlale on the right. And game like I tend to believe when we're a left-footed player which is playing on the wing, ungasudlale right, so that uzokwazi wenza as a cut in, because when you play on the left, it says Itimodlana is very aware that you will cross the ball every time the ball ifika kuwe. But when you udlala right, you are an unpredictable player. No one ukwazi uzodlala kanjani. And the weekend we had the Cape Verde, I like indlela ebidlala ngayo uMakgopa. Again, uMakgopa is a point of reference yethu. Uyaqaphela i-defense eCape Verde is very tall, but uyambona umjita, he was reaching the ball, and uMakgopa is working very hard. At some stage, umbona is coming to help midfielder to collect the ball. Xa sayibona uba akafumani iball,
Yeah.
Lento it goes to lento ithetha ngoluvuyo uba uMahophe uyambona uba he wants to play but akayifumani supply as much as efuna. So zenye izinto ezibangele singathi akabonakali because I think such players ezifana noTau ezidlala off position zezinye izinto ezisibethayo going forward. And secondly, uThembazwana uyambona is too old. At some stage ufumaniseka uba hey when xa sesifika phaa ko-72 to 80th minute uyambona uba akasenguye egemini. And ke ngoku kuloo nto enye into emenzela nzima is playing ibhola engayiqhelanga uyidlala. Thina siqhele eza 1-2s ibhola to be in control of the ball. Now when you play kwi-games ezinje, I think i-Cape Verde, it will be easy for them to analyze us because bazawuqaphela same starting lineup and they're expecting loo nto uba konzeka loo nto. So it is very easy kubo to udlala nathi because bona they can change the team anytime. Uyabona mos banabo Osamon Moses, banabo Lukmani, banabo Inacho. So possible they can come with a different game, of which is dinner. As now you bench that would say sizawuqala with a different game. We need to go with the same players. But again, I think coach needs a good strategy this time. Just to ukunike uTau a role to play umdlase right. Sizobona ba if we can play in Nigeria, singayinike space to breathe because teams as far as Nigeria are very good on the ball and we need to be sihlale alert to game. Otherwise, I am happy with the team. But I think we need more involvement. That's my submission.
No, thank you so much, Tommy. Let me bring in Tumisho. Tumisho, how are you?
Ushapo.
Ay, nakimnati over. Strong. What do you think of this game?
I think it will be a bit of a tough game, but the other
No,
thing
sorry,
I think people don't realize.
I meant Cape Verde. Sorry. I meant Cape Verde.
It was actually a tough game, but I expected that looking at their previous play, because as you can see, the teams they played with, they were dominating. So, and they can actually play those small passes. They can play counterattacks. So I expected it to be the way it was a bit dangerous. I was actually panicking sometimes because once they changed that striker, they were able to open us in the middle. In the center back. That's my biggest concern now when it comes to Nigeria, because Osamen is going to be a similar striker to that guy. And he's going to be there trying to make the runs, trying to push them around. That's my biggest concern, because our center backs were moving. They were not holding their shape, and which it nearly cost us, because if that guy was clinical, they would have scored. So that's the biggest concern I have. But the other thing, we should realize that we are not playing the way we used to. South Africa is used to trying to dominate, but you can, as much as I can say the coach, I didn't like what he was doing, but I respect what he's doing. He brought that dirty game, that hard work into the players. So you can see they are working their socks off. They are working as a team. So they are fighting as a team. So that is actually helping in the games that we are not dominating, but they work great and they are pressing, they are pushing. It's just our pressing, we need to learn to press together, because when Mahuba presses, he's alone. The other guys are at the back. And then they're able to pass us through. So that was also killing us, because we are not pressing as a team. Well, if one player just presses, it's just going to keep on opening us. So there are things we can improve, but I like the work rate. The work rate is, I can say, is high. Yeah, that's the most important things. But if we go to Nigeria not being afraid, I can't blame Tau. I hear people that are saying Tau is not performing, but the way we play, Tau won't perform. That's the other thing. He will be there to do those special moment if you get a chance. But you won't have that huge performance. People that are performing, or you will see, is people in the middle. You can see Umukwe and Abotswani because they're the people who gets the ball most of the time. But just like the other guy on the flank, you will see them just tracking back, going forward, trying to, when you get the ball, try to beat somebody or cross, but you won't get the ball too much because the way we play, we are trying to play sort of, I can say, tiki-taka football. Also, at the same time, we are playing long balls, so it's a bit confusing which one is it sometimes.
Yeah.
And based on that, the players, they won't actually be effective. You will see some, because sometimes we try and build it from the middle, it goes forward, you'll see the progress, you'll see everyone, but we'll do that maybe 3-4 times in a game, except for that game that we won 4. There we were playing from the back to the middle to the forwards. That's why we were able to do everything. Even with Morocco, we played much better. We were able to connect from the back to the midfield and going forward. So the only concern is that, but I think they should be where, I'm not saying should change that centre back pairing, but they should stick to their position, because if they move around the way they moved in the later stage with Cape Verde, so we might be in danger going to Nigeria if we do that. Yeah.
Okay. No, thank you, Tumisho. I just want to say shout out to the Untamed Critic. Thank you for the roses. Let me go to Oscar. Oscar, how are you?
Hola, Bafana. How's it, man?
Hayi, mina ngimnandi last 4. Yeah, the last 4. From 24 teams to just 4 left, and we're one of them. Tell me, what do you think of the Cape Verde game?
Bafana, you know what? As South Africans, number one, I think we should be very happy. We should be very grateful. I don't think South Africans, we expected to even reach this stage. And obviously, South Africans in general, we are very demanding. We're very demanding. Sometimes we can appear as an ungrateful bunch, you know. But we can all agree with you. Uncle Hugo has humbled us. He has served us humble pies. Do we agree with how he plays? Majority, we might not. I think, before I even answer the direct question, Cape Verde, I think that the best game, or maybe the best first half we played, was in the game that we lost, and that was against Mali. And we all loved how we played against Mali, specifically that first half. But we lost the game. Now we're going to continue with that way, and then but not even progress. But Uncle Hugo found a way to play the Warriors of Namibia. He found a way to play those useless Arabs of Tunisia. And he found a way to play these ones that don't see themselves as Africans from Morocco. And then we were outplayed by Cape Verde. Let's just be honest. Well, not totally. They had better chances of scoring. And if we're going to give the Super Eagles the very same chances that we gave Ilento, Cape Verde, be rest assured, the Nigerians will bury those chances. I mean, those top 3 guys, Lukman, Osimhen, and is it Moses Simon? Those guys are, in Nigeria, how they are now, it's almost like bury the chances you have, and then afterwards, you just relax. You just relax. So it will be critical for Umukwena and Ositole to really back up the defense, because in Nigeria, in transition, they are brilliant. Ilento, Cape Verde, I think with Ulento, I don't know how the coach substituted that Rodriguez. Is it Rodriguez?
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, because the guy was also a pain for us, and playing 120 minutes in that game might also be a factor going to the next game. And Nami Indavaka shame Lion of Judah, I'm 50-50. I am really shame flirting with the idea of starting, let's say, an Apolis. But a Niger South Africa game might be too big for some of the players that are on the bench. But chances are we need really fresh legs to start that game, because playing 120 minutes,
to face a very physical Super Eagles in the next game, it's going to be tough for us. It's really going to be tough. I heard someone saying here, Umudao, a lot was demanded from him. You could tell. I mean, and most of us here in this group, we don't like that son-in-law, Yaga Yugo Pros, Unigo Mo. And majority of us might not even agree. Uguti Nigo Mobi might have to start in the Super Eagles. But overall, I'm happy for the win. And then Hugo Pros is finding. We have played 5 games or 4 games, and all of the games we have set up differently. And some of the setup, unfortunately, they don't. It might not be the best for Utau. It might not be the best for Umshishi. And my take, is good for Umshishi to play. A lot must not be demanded from him. But how Uncle Bros is playing is that is demanding so much from Utau, is demanding so much from Uzwane. In such a way, by 60th or 70th minute, Uzwane already his legs have had it. But I'm happy. I'm grateful. And I do think that we do have a chance against the Super Eagles. We must just not over respect the Super Eagles. Maybe we should just play the way we played against the Malians in that first half and see what happens. Because generally the Super Eagles, they are slow starters. But thanks for the show. Thanks for the content out here. Must push in.
No, must push. I'm going to come back. Kebza, I want to come back to you because I just want to ask you, for this question, guys, can you be a little bit quick on the responses so that I can allow the others in as well? Kebza, I'm hearing us say a lot that, even myself, we say Mahupa's out of position, Pesitao is out of position, Mudiba is not allowed to jump forward and do and be creative. Mudau has been told to sit back, whereas when he plays for Sundowns, it's Useila Ule Pambili. We've got Tembazwani maybe playing out of position. We've got all these things we're speaking about. The question I want to ask you is, how much do you think Hugo Bruce has figured out that maybe I should take these players and though they're playing uncomfortable, we're going to win? Or do you believe that if we were to return these players to the positions where they normally play, would we be as successful?
I think if we play our players in their best positions, we would get the best out of them. That's the obvious thing I can think of. Understand? And it's not impossible. It's not impossible if Kena and a level at the squad. Sorry, you understand? So if Tau plays off the right, cutting inside with Zwani behind Makopa, and then maybe try out one between.
Kebza, are you still with me? Hey, guys, can you all hear me? Master Icon, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I think Debs has just gone off a little bit there.
I think I'm back.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it's my Wi-Fi just went off. Get load shedding.
Hey, Kana, 8 o'clock.
So yeah, I think if we play Zwani off the right, Zwani behind Makopa, and one between Apolis and Mayambela, and then try to tell one between Mukwena and Sitole to just sit and marshal that midfield, not to go anywhere, just to be like Busquets. He doesn't go anywhere, he doesn't go far, just to protect that back four. You understand? Because remember, our full backs are they like to pump up front. So if he sits back and then if they went up and then he drops in between our center backs to create a back three when we are only defending, when we are defending, I think it would work. So if he approaches the game that way, of which we know he's not going to do that, but it's just our opinions and how we review things. So we have to approach the game like that, because remember, players like Bo Osimhen, they like to run in between the defense, just like that striker. But come on, that striker Sakivet standing last minute. He gave us
Oh,
problems in the
Gelson.
last 10 minutes. Exactly. You understand? In that few minutes that he came in, man, that guy
Okay.
gave us a lot of problems. I thought they were going
time,
to steal
Tebza.
Yeah.
Time,
okay,
Tebza,
let's
time.
go.
Check him out. Kenya Baba, but hey.
Yeah, let's just go and win that game of it.
One last
Nigeria-
question. One
Yeah.
last question. Are you going with Fufu or are you going Lipapa? Which one are you choosing in this game for Wednesday?
Hey, reale papa because of bakwatile Tyler can tell a get we won the comment ya ka Tyler win the Grammy ka mola o betile ma Nigeria o top 4 so bano bakwatile ba rawa Bafana will pay for it.
No, thank you, Tebza. Then we go to Master Icon. Master Icon, we've seen South African players specifically, we've seen them play beautiful football when we're playing them in their right positions and we're doing everything correctly. But it seems that Hugo Bruce, with what we see as a broken squad, has gone further than what we could have expected. Is it a case where we need to make these players play how they used to play? Or should we keep going with this way of playing?
Yeah, I think this way has been working for us. So changing now would actually come with a lot. For example, they used to the rhythm that they have right now, their style of play, even though some of them are not comfortable. But obviously we won't sacrifice the entire squad momentum because of one or two players. So continue with what we have. Though if he is to make changes, he can make about one or two. So Frana can play any position. He can play as a fullback, he can play as a right wing, he can play in the middle. So perhaps he could try to either take down to the false nine position, to help him. Actually, for him to actually help evidence. Then we can. I don't want to say we can kill one midfield because I've been watching the Nigerian games. Even though they have been winning 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, but we need to be solid in the midfield. We need to make sure that we have Sitole and Mukwena. And we cannot obviously kill Zwane because, like I said earlier, it's not the matter of how the player is performing in the entire game. It's about the influence they have. Though they're not performing, but I think their standards are high. So he could make one or two changes, but changing about 5 people or 4 people would actually kill our momentum at the moment.
Are you going with Amapiano or Afrobeats on Wednesday?
The Nigerians have been winning with fluke, man. Although they have been having us like with the thingies, but Amapiano, we are killing, man. We are killing. We're gonna take this one. I'm going with South Africa over 1.5. Nigeria can score, but we're killing the game.
Okay. Thank you, Master Icon. Let me shout out my ambitious Israel. At least there's someone standing up for Nigeria in the comments. At least there's someone. Let's go to the Buyo. Should we be changing these players back to their more comfortable original positions, or should we carry on with Hugo Bruce's formula because it's been winning?
I would say if it's not broken, don't fix it. The important thing when it comes to a soccer game is a win. And there's a fan demand. There's a demand from fans on how we wish or want them to play. But individually as a player or as a team, there's a demand from the coach to play a certain way. So what's important is if they execute the game according to the plan or the coach's plan, and they give us a 3 points or they move to the next round, then we can't complain. Because there's a guy who said we played well in the first half against Mali, but didn't win. So as I said, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Where are we going? Are we going Lagos or are we going Johannesburg? What are we looking at here in the game?
Gauteng, my bro. Gauteng.
No, thank you, Lubuyo. Stormy. These players, Batiba uncomfortable. They're not playing in the right positions. We've all said it now. Kodwa bayawina. Should we be changing them back to their positions for this game?
No, our team now. I think the only change we can have with the game is to play with right, so that symbol the involvement yakhe game. Because if we keep on playing well aside, it's a sense a lot that City keep on complaining. City is giving us zero nothing. Of which is we need his involvement. That otherwise, I don't think he should change his starting lineup. He should continue with his starting lineup. But that I don't think we need to keep on playing as long pause because we are at some stage, but siphila ngenhlahla nje. Because as teams that are creating more chances than us, of which is I think not we need to play. But ke uHugo at least uzakwazi ukusho ngoba igame kayiqalayo ba ize kanjani because in Nigeria I think is only strong forward base kumhlobo engicinga ngalo otherwise i-midfield ne-back line mna andiyiboni that much they is so overrated but into endiyaziyo uba they can play up front so uHugo should go with the same team but anike i-chance to play because we don't see his involvement.
Where are we going? Are we going Nigeria or going South Africa for the game?
Hayi, mapiano you. Sorry Nigeria.
Ariyo.
And again, OT. Players must sibabethe i-Grammy Awards ngo-Taylor. And they were complaining by about David abawinanga. So let us keep on doing this. Spill sibabethe futhi.
No, thank you, Tommy. Oscar, we've all pretty much said that kumele change team or change team, but then they've been winning. So should he carry on doing what he was doing, or kumele adlalise these players in the positions that they are comfortable in?
I'll tell me, as in knowing abomadala, abantu abadala, they're very stubborn with their ideas. Chances are he's going to stick to his guns. But the only challenge is that, he must consider the fact that we are coming from, if you look at our games that played, the only toughest game Nigeria played, I think it was it Ivory Coast in their group, ne?
Yeah.
It was Ivory Coast. And if you look at all the other games, they were much easier games than the games that Bafana Bafana played. I mean, all the games we have played, including the one that we won 4-0, they were very, 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 very demanding. We've literally been playing very demanding games. And you must consider the fact that we are also coming from 120 minutes. And some players, you could tell, Uguti, they were really, really tired. And but in Jengman, Uncle Hugo is going to stick to the first 11. And we are also have to consider the fact that we back 4-2. 3 of the players already have yellow cards. Grant, Umvala, and Umudiba. I think Umudao is the only one that doesn't have a yellow card. So isn't just Fanana they should be, but I don't see him changing the squad. I honestly don't. And maybe playing Utau closer to Umahupa and to Uta collected the secondary balls. Maybe that might be the only thing that could change. And then Umurena and Umshishi, maybe Bajale, something that you might say it's a double 10. And then Ulento, Umukwena is an 8. And then who's this guy? Ustol Mvawake to assist maybe the back 2 guys. And then Ulento, I inverted more than he did before, Umudiba. But I'm just talking now as a Sundowns mentality. That's not Hugo, young Tol. But I don't see the old man changing his ways. I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Where are we leaning? I'm a piano, Afrobeat, fufu pop. Where are we going?
My brother, that great wall of Abuja, Abu Trust, Ekong, Abu Calvin Bassi, that fortified wall must be broken. Evidence must break that wall. We are eating jollof rice for dinner on Wednesday. I'm buying my jollof. I'm going to record it in Zoyedla. We're winning this one, gents.
Okay. No, Oscar, thank you so much for joining me, my brother.
Hola.
Let's keep it going. I'm gonna open up. Again, let's see the next panel. Gregor, where's Gregor? He must come on. Oh, Gregor. But it's fine. Let me bring on the guys that are here. Let me do this. Oh, what's going on? It's taking its time. Ay, kyalutla. Remember, guys, you have to be following me. In order to jump in. I'm just trying to get the panel filled now.
Oh.
Let's see. Hey, Babang, they don't exist. What's going on here? Okay, so I'm just gonna go with what I have here first, and then we'll add. Malamakuto, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Mr. Oti, Kimnati, when I'm not.
Ay, man, wait, I'll settle 4. What's a mail about to buy 20? You can only be happy.
Sugar tea, good night.
I want to ask you 2 questions. Firstly, what was your thoughts about the Cape Verde game? And then secondly, are we worried, and I don't know if Nigeria is the one to do this to us, but are we worried that for maybe the second time in the tournament, a team has gone into second gear in the other half and caused us some problems, and we took a while to react?
It's only normal, Mr. Oti. We've caused problems for other teams as well. I mean, he scored 4 against one team, scored 2 against Ghana King, the highly favored, highly fancied Morocco. So it goes both ways. I understand.
Yeah.
There will be phases where the opponents look like they're dominating. The most important thing is, do you weather the storm or do you cry? Understand? And from a positivist perspective, we're able to weather the storm. Wave after wave they came. We had Ronwen. And Amashantu Abu, Mr. Oti, were over the top.
Yeah.
Which was a variant. Tinasi prepare, they are taking our fullbacks, right? So what we do is we overload both fullbacks with Ama winger and say, winger, come and help the fullbacks. And then these guys take advantage and start pinging passes.
Stay to the right. Then stay to the right to light vehicles.
From very far.
Stay to the right to light vehicles.
I understand. Which then we saw that young boy. He had Ama chance Amanini. I saw him cry after the game and I thought, yeah, because Ama chances were there. You just couldn't finish.
Yeah.
And saying he just couldn't finish is also unfair. There were some super saves from
Are you still with me?
audible.
Yeah, you're still audible.
You understand? So what Ronwen did for the country was massive. You understand? But if to ask me, how do we counter what happened going into a game in Nigeria, a team that is going to be more taxing, having played the game, nothing against Cape Verde, a highly fancy team as well, dark horses. I think what we can do, I've always advocated for this, push Umshishi to the side, have him play as a wide 10, come in, Atlo connector, Arome around, and we can, Ghana King, have 2 sixes in a way, whether it's Stolle and Monare or Stolle and Adams. And as you can see, Ghana King is enjoying football right now. He's going forward every chance he gets. Have him play at the tip of the triangle, you understand? Not necessarily as a 10, but as a more adventurous 8, as I always put it. In that way, I think we can cause Nigeria problems in offense and also have enough numbers defensively in defense. So for me, that's how I would approach the next game. Not necessarily just the next game, but that's how I would try remedy our issues.
Oja fufu or oja papa?
Is that even a question? Kisha papa, Mr. Uti. You know, I was telling some guy with the actually it's not just one guy which have been believing in this team. It's beyond belief. They're like Unamanga. You're just one of those people trying to ride onto the wave. I'm like, even if I was, there's nothing wrong with that. But I've been believing, and I still believe with Konala Siakwana, Mr. Uti.
Tell them to watch the previous episodes of the show. They are there, they're recorded, they are proof. Refreed Africa, how are you?
Shabugunjan, my boss.
Aye, man. Last four. What can I say? I'm happy. I've got two questions for you.
Yes.
Go on. No, go on.
No. I like, your spirit. When the games are live, you are also live.
Yeah, it's like I could jump into the pitch, man.
Yeah, when I can multitask. Sure. What's the question, my bro?
Two questions. What did you think of the Cape Verde game? And then, are you worried at all that when teams come into the second half and have a second gear, they make some changes? We saw Bebe come on, we saw Gelson come on. It doesn't seem like we have an answer, or we take too long to answer, and it puts us in tough situations.
Okay. I mean, the thoughts about the Cape Verde game, I'm just gonna be diplomatic. You see, this what South Africans are missing out, and ingati abayiboni kahle in abuti ne. South Africa, the problem is that we are not playing fancy, straightforward style something. We are mixing. There is a straightforward attacking that we played when we played against Namibia. We were attacking, and then when we played Tunisia, it was more of breathe in and out, kind of cycling them and taking them on counters, but very careful not to concede. So it looks like what is the risk that South Africa is facing, and then what approach should we apply? Then if you look, we eliminated Morocco. Okay, fine there, no problem. But if you look at Morocco, you look at Cape Verde, you look at Nigeria, these guys, Cape Verde is much more stronger even than Nigeria. So this uniform that is automatic, I hear some of our Western brothers have been praising each other, congratulating each other that they are already in the final without having played. It's wonderful. But having said that, there are certain things that we are very disorderly in our playing patterns. When South Africa plays, they are disruptive, they are rude, they are distracting. They are like out of order. You don't know what to expect with them, because I've seen about 5 different styles of playing and attacking. Another one was defending in blocks. Another one was defend but wait and counter attack. You understand? And while all these things are happening, all these other coaches are shouting. Our coach basically sits down and relaxes. He doesn't shout at anybody. He knows the schooling of thought and what he has given these guys, what they must do. But there's also one other thing that I would like to touch on. My brother, I want to believe that there is a soccer god, if I can use that word, or gods. If you look at 2 goals that happened against Williams, and what his reaction and what was the effect of that, he pushed one ball up and it hit the pole and went out. That is during the match. Just some 2 minutes before the match ended. That's one. That goal was a goal in. But the soccer god said no. And then there was a penalty issue. The first penalty which he held passed him, but could not pass the line. He turned around and he collected it. These are elements of the hand of God saying, Now I'm looking at South Africa. I want to lift them up. You will see, my brother. Nigeria is nothing. Thanks, my brother. I'm done.
Okay. Thank you, Refreed. Kumo.
Sure.
Kumo, I see you
Excel.
causing things in the comments, man. Hey, Mar.
And allow me to continue, please.
Welcome, my brother. How are
What's
you?
ambitious? I'm okay. And yourself?
No, I'm good, my brother. 2 questions. How did you see the Cape Verde game? And do we have to worry that other teams seem to change gears in the second half? It seems even like a plan now, and it seems to catch us off guard a little bit.
Yeah, well, they have to change their plans when they play against us because we always counter whatever they started playing against us with. I don't think they need to worry, ne? I understand people are unhappy with our way of playing. They say Cape Verde was dominating, but really, were they really dominating because we had the better chances at scoring? I mean, like shots on target, we had them, although they were timid, but still, we were dominating on that front. And one thing that you guys have to understand is that this is tournament football. We know the Sundowns can give you brilliant football that you like, watching, we've got the star quality, we've got those players. But remember, as long at the end of the day, we need results. And so far, there's no God. It's our game plan from Yuhu. That's its African pronunciation, Yuhu. But Yuhu. But yeah, from Hugo Bros. Clearly his strategy is winning, even though I'm not a fan of him, but clearly he does something that makes us cross the line, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I like the fact that no one is taking us seriously because allegedly Nigerian is filled with superstars. Like, who watches the Italian league anyway? I mean, like, then they're gonna say, Osman is a superstar. Yeah, but anyway, so we also have our own superstars, no? We also have our own superstars, and I like Kure. There's no pressure, so everyone has been writing us off from the get-go. Even coming to this game, they don't think that we're gonna overcome the mighty Super Eagles. For in fact, we've got the best defense alongside them, but we've outscored them more, and we've taken bigger teams than Nigeria. So I don't know why everyone. And I'm not scared. I'm actually looking forward to this. And yeah, make me sweat, make me water. That's so ambitious, you know? Yeah, Taylor one. It is not BT when you get songs about banana follow you, I'm in love with you. Then they get best song because people are voting for him. This is, you know what I mean? So you're gonna beat Nigeria. There's nothing to be scared of.
Hey, okay, cool with the violence. Hey, wait, let me go to Melile Mtakababa. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Mtakababa, kunjani lapha?
Hey, Ukumo, uphezu kwabo.
Uyamazi nawe lo muntu lo, hayi. Osiyami ngcono ke kuphume nje kuwe.
Tell Mtakababa. 2 questions.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Cape Verde game, number 1? And then number 2, we saw it versus Mali. We saw it versus Cape Verde. It almost seems like maybe planiabo. Guti first half, they were going to play away, and then they find the second gear in the first half. Where, man, it's sometimes we struggle to match the changes that they've made. Should we worry about that type of thing going into the last 2 games of the tournament?
Yeah. No, first of all, sengibingelele yuko bonke abafethu nabalapha ku-panel yethu lapha. Nalaba ke ababhala eceleni abalahlelayo ngapha eceleni ngoba ngapha eceleni kuyafiwa nje. Hey. So yeah man, coming to a game. A reflection I can say from the first game, if first game yakhona inemali, if boyibheka kahle, surely if we took our chances in the first half, maybe by now Bafana Bafana would have playing a different style of play whereby everybody was enjoying and not complaining and say this style actually is on and we're always dominated. Because I think from then it would have given a confidence. Because I think Bruce noticed from that first game before he changed to the second gear of playing the way we do. Because I guess a cool game in Namibia. Because in Namibia we always dominated them. They are not a threat to us. So I think it from the first game of noticing the first half year too, and the second half year to Madlela Nemali on the
Yeah.
first game. So that's why on the third game against Tunisia, he has to revert back into his gear footy layer to be so defensive and just try and see we only catches them on counter attack, which has worked so far. Because here we are now, semi-final, of which yes, some team they were dominating against us. Even Morocco were dominating, but if you look at the chances that they created in terms of like threatening Uronwe and Gahle, they were not. Most of the shots that they took were sideways. I cannot say Uronwe there's a game whereby we said, yo, Uronwe saved us. Like during the game, goalkeepers just made so much it was really attacked, but no. I can say it defense work. But coming to a game here, Cape Verde, I think nakhona futhi man, they were dominant, but I think the biggest mistake was done by even their coach with a substitution.
Yeah.
In substitution, the captain Yabo and the substitution that guy was playing on the left wing, Rodrigue, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, actually, those guys, they were like playing and they were threatening us. I think if maybe they should have been let a game in, they would have caused more problem for us. Because the only substitution Mountabek that was needed from Bona was a substitution Gagabi, because he's also good in terms of like taking shots. Wide. He was supposed to be like their target man, like their number 9. I think most of those shots that he take, maybe some would have gone into Uranwen. So yeah, I think their coach just let us off the hook with those 2 substitutions, and then that's when probably you could see some smaller combination from us. But even though we were not, I don't know what happened. We were not quick, man, coming out when we have received the ball. Angazi man, bengathi inyawo zabo phesitawo nabo mshishe bengathi zibambekile man. They were so slow nje coming out. Asazi kwenzakaleni. But I guess it's a type of modern football that we are playing, because it's demanding, especially if you are going to be a winger, also expected to come again and assist in defending. You'll be trained. You will be trained. But you see, it's modern football. Was trainer, most of the attackers train them if they have to be asked to come back and defend. But if you look at Utau, he's playing like the right wing.
Yeah.
He doesn't assist, doesn't defend. He's always staying on the right wing. Move. So that's why he's always have energy moving forward. If you look at Utau, who's playing Gualakli, and the Tau who's playing Bafana Bafana, those are 2 different. Because Gualakli has been given that freedom of not move to come and mark the ball. No, they just let him stay there on that right wing, and they know once they win the ball, they just go straight to him. So yeah, but you're so far. Singasho ukuthi okay, siyabonga ukuthi siqualifyile for the semi-final, but we know, as we are saying, yes, we have been dominated. We haven't come out of our shells in the way that we expected to, and especially if we know with those combination and short passes moving forward. So yeah, but akulahlambele ngakufela, angazi mhlambe ngokudidile ke phela bangisho njalo.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's for Tepang.
Okay.
How are you, my brother?
Triple K.
And I could almost next question. Tell me. I've got 2 questions. How did you see the Cape Verde game? And then Mali switched gears and gave us a bit of trouble. Cape Verde switched gears in the second half and gave us a bit of trouble. Is it a worrying factor going into the last 2 games?
It's always a worrying factor whenever you progress into any tournament. I get a tournament, you are as good as the next game that you play, not the previous one, because it's a league. Understand? My only concern is that as we are progressing into the tournament, we need to play better. You know what I mean? Group stages, qualify, last 16. There must be progression in our play as well. We can't be saying, badladile re qualifyile, re tla bona hore ho etsahalang next game. I feel like that's where we at right now. Ha re boneng hore ho tlo etsahalang. Now what I would love to see, ne? This is just my opinion.
Okay.
Should it happen or in the next game, Modiba's side have a problem. Banka Murena ba mo dladise position ya Modiba. That guy has played there before.
Okay.
He has done well. There's never been a problem. So now, I was asking a friend of mine, or what would happen if Rinke Mobi, re positioning ya Mda, re push Mda, anyane fela re bone hore o tla etsang ko winning, because that guy's got everything. For me, he's one player that's got everything. Moving forward, Wamaka, energy is sharp. Understand? So I think for me, I would love to see the guys elevate their game in terms of dominance, bulldoze the middle field, bulldoze Kopil. I want really that thing. No, I look seeds. Because right now it feels like I also look sharp. Yes, we are getting there. I'm not saying it will never get right. It will get right, but slowly into it. But right now, unfortunately, we are at the last four. We just need to get it right. If there is a time you are winning this tournament, is this year for me. If it's not now, I don't know when. Because I'm looking right now, game here, Nigeria. I'm looking at those guys, man. Those guys, okay, there's Osimhen, but Osimhen is not like get right. I agree, as a striker, he can't play alone. As long as require channel ya Mohari or Raska Tola supply, Ritoba sharp. That's what I believe in. So for me, I think what I've picked up in the Cape Verde game, you know, there's a boy wa Cape Verde, okay, nka against bandishnyana mo leveleng.
Gelson.
Hey, that boy man, o re hlophile nkare man, yo. And at that point, I can bet you, if that guy took 2 chances, we'll be talking a different story. That guy, man. You know, so now it feels like as our opponents are elevating their game, rona re batla ho react after 25 minutes. But to bar attacker now, we must tlamehile re ba bracket now. Sing after 25 minutes. So it looks like the coach una le plan. I'm not saying he doesn't have a plan. I feel like he has a plan, but I just hope whatever plan that he has is pan, because also it's fella 2 games or rank tournament. 90 minutes they 2 refeditse. That's where we at right now as supporters. Or abafetu no, I remo last 4 re kopa fela 1-0 or 2-0 re kwale ko morao re thole go finally. I don't know the yellow card di tlo re affecta jwang, you know. That's just my concern right now, because a lot of key players man na le the yellow card, man, and you know, I'm just looking at the bench and looking at the guys that have yellow cards. Then where do we stand with that? But yeah, credit to the guys, man. Hey, they fought, you know. If there's one thing I would appreciate as any fan, any person that's sitting on the stands, even though the team is not playing well, but as long as they take the game and put it on their shoulders and they soldier on, that's all we want. We want them to play. But guys, I didn't totally be easy for the opponents. That's what we want. Go on and take a copan from the guys.
Okay, Tsepo. Okay, I'm gonna come back. Apparently the yellow cards have been wiped from quarterfinals, so everybody is on a clean slate. Apparently, that's what I'm seeing in the comments.
I wonder the football courts. Which somebody talked about football courts. Hey, just spam. Guys.
We're going to Austin Tabby. Like Austin.
Dumela. Nna.
Hey.
O ja ba tloela di yellow card tse ntse di jwalo ne? Coach a ska ba a kenya this first team ya hae a dulang a starta ka yona ena yentseng di flower tse important. A ka di belle morao. After a chinchile a kentse bana ba le hungry for game. Re la ga bona game e chincha e ba ka mogomong. So ne ke wisha e ka re di yellow card tseo di ka dula di le jwalo. Gore a gone go fa bana ba bang chance a ska banka fela a lo ba phagamisa mo. Jwale ha o hlakotse di yellow card o lo tsala ka sona scheme sena sa hae mo la bona hore nako e nyane maybe se re lelekisa ka po ho etsalang e be le hona kenyang bana ba bang ba mathisa a ba sebedisa ha bohloko.
So then,
Hana ka qala ka e qetelletseng no tse ha o no extra timing a ka
Hey,
ife chance
hey.
and then aba substitute ka ba le ba hae no problem. Nigeria ha ino bona nix cup yona e tla South Africa.
ke yona ntho e ke batlang go botsa yona o Senthabe hore re bone ka first half ne ba dlala a different football. Second half ba tlile ba etsa di-change Cape Verde and ara react until go le late. Is that a problem go gaming ya Nigeria hore e ka change Nigeria e change taba and then all of a sudden Bafana Bafana ai kgone go react.
Anke re bona ma Nigeria ba se ba re bone hore South Africa e qala ka scheme sena and ba tlo ba maketa. So ba qetelletseng ka bona ifile batho ba tsebe hantle ba tsebe na o tla etsalang ka bona. So if they ka ba fa chance re tlo bona papadi e monate re tlo ba happy as South African ha ka scheme sa ka qalella sibela kwa anka ye qetelletseng ka yona no tla dlala Cape Verde ka yona ha ga di extra timing a kenya bana ba bang bao o tla bona hore na cup ena e tlo tla mona yona ha ona ka mkgomo.
Okay, Osintabi, okay. Let me go to Agent. Agent, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm a semi-finalist. Final four.
I feel like a semi-finalist.
Yeah? Two questions. Your thoughts about Cape Verde, the game, and then secondly, the second gear change that team's doing the second half, it doesn't seem like we react in time.
Yeah, you asked Kumo, Minabutu Kut's a very dangerous question. Fufu or Papa. I've been my soul is bothering me today. I don't know why my soul is bothering me for fufu, but it's fine. We'll come there. Man, I hate it, but let's hope by Wednesday, the ancestors and the gods and Abu Gugoma Wade would have answered the prayers. I'll bother it back. I mean, but on the game, okay, on the Bafana side, firstly, if I go to Cape Verde, maybe I wasn't watching the game that much. Did Adams do anything though? Because I felt like it did seem like he was outmatched by those guys. You know, I think we showed a different level, even Mayambela, he didn't do anything for me. So, hey, it looks like we'll be stuck with the same lineup, you know, for me. But on the Cape Verde side, they surprised me, you know. They didn't go pound for pound as I thought they would. They didn't. You know, I think maybe that shows the respect that these teams have for Bafana, you know, because first 35 minutes, they literally sat back. So I don't know. I think Baby coming on as a sub, he produced a spark, but I feel like he took something away from the team as a whole. Because I think he was just shooting left, right, center. You reminded me of Talakele, you know.
Yeah, no, my faith.
Any angle, anyway, shoots, you know. So I think he made Cape Verde lose something for me. But they were more disciplined than all other games that I've watched, because against Egypt, they were all over Egypt. Like they were taking left, right, center. With us, they were cautious, you know. Hence, for me, I predicted that we're gonna score early. I'm surprised that the highest scoring team, they didn't score, you know. And I think that perhaps comes back to our strong point, that our strong point is defense. And I think I want to pose this question to the panel and others, that if you look at Nigeria is winning ugly, and if anything, uglier than us. So it's going to be a clash of ugly football. So when you talk of second gear, does Nigeria have second gear though? Because I feel like they play at the same kind of football
like us.
You know, we are the same people. I think this one game you're not gonna need the second gear, you know.
Yeah.
And I look at the teams that are left, DRC and Ivory Coast. I feel like the most dangerous teams have left, Guinea, and Cape Verde, and which other team was attacking non-stop? I'm forgetting another one. You know, Mali. You know, those are teams that I felt like we needed second gear at. You know, so I feel like for this game, we wouldn't need a second gear. It's a case of who will score first, and who scores first locks the game. You know, and it will be very interesting because Umvala likes a physical challenge.
He's gonna get the
If they-
most physical challenge.
You know, and I feel like if Nigeria is intelligent, they're not gonna play the route one that have been playing to Osimhen, you know, because Umvala would be all over him, you know. I see Umvala getting one of Umvala or Osimhen, one has to draw blood, one of them, you know. But otherwise, the boys played well. The most important thing in football is to win. We won.
Yeah.
That's all that matters at the end of the day. How, when, if you want beautiful football, go and watch Sundowns on the 17th.
Mar. It's Stenyoso, I know. Stenyoso, I brought. But it's fine. Malume Kutso. This hard-nosed approach, man. This tough football, this ugly quote-unquote football. Is it something that should be making its way into Africa, South African football as a whole? Should we be seeing more teams try and be this? Is it a good thing?
Well, look, as controversial as I'm about to sound,
The moment you said controversial, your network said,
team that plays beautiful football in this country.
Malume Kutsokare, there's a problem. There's a problem with your network. Give me a round. Let me go to Velile. I'm going to come back because it seems Kare network how yeah tswara itlogela. Yeah. Okay, Velile, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to come back to Malume Kutso. Velile. Oh, okay. I'll stay with you then. You heard my question. What do you think? As you were saying.
Like,
I think he's delayed.
Yeah.
Explaining with
Hey, Malume Kutso, I'm gonna come back to you. It's not in yet. Velile, tell me, Bruce, should we see some teams in South African football? Should we see some teams in South Africa adopt Leo football? Maybe should it come into South African football?
Uyayikhumbula le time yakudala le ye-MTN ipotsotso ngathi wawuthi uthenga ipotsotso la akazama ukuthi ashintshe izinto akashintshe ukwenza akwazi ukuthi ungeza ku-platform enkulu kangaka uthenga ipotsotso hayi
Ivele yangena ku-airtime ithi hey airtime hello internet yeah.
The tournament, this Cup of Nation was difficult, man. But did you see even coach we mali ngibona bambhabhadisa laphayana hey angazi bezinye lapha e-touchline kodwa bebhizi imthela ngamanzi nje enhloko kunzima lapha uhamba ngalo Bruce makangcono ayidefendele but yeah oh my honestly, I think Kumo or agent Ashilo, tournament football is like this, but it's sometimes since the by extended lucky because we've got 8 games. Normally, you've got 6 games, then you take the trophy. The only thing that you need to is to play and win, regardless of whatever. So it's unlike maybe whereby it's teams whereby you still get a chance maybe to try and implement certain patterns and style. But then sometimes if the thing ukuthi mhlawumbe into esikhathazayo thina ukuthi uBruce has been with us, I think maybe now is going for 3 years, no? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I think most of us really we are expecting ukuthi Bafana manje kumele ngabe like iyashelela You see,
Okay.
bekumele ngabe idlala like ibhola, a type of football whereby that's easy on the eye, whereby everyone will enjoy. That's why sometimes on this panel, when we watch of most of the PSL games, we are so critical of our coaches because at sometimes we do expect this element of surprises from our coaches, and you notice that's why most of us, some of us, we are not coaches. But if we are we are a coach or an analyst, we expect you maybe to be a different thinker or a different doer in so many things. You must have a critical analysis and also bringing new ideas to the game. If
Yeah.
they say you're a coach,
Yeah.
that's why. And also we always appreciate I'm a coach Rulani because Rulani can change any game anytime of the day or any minute. Whether he can with a substitution work. So, but Hugo has decided to stay with this first starting 11, okay? And of which, yes, they haven't played pretty football. It's boring on the eye. It's not easy. It's really boring. But because it has brought him the results, he will get off the hook with that one. And since Nakota Masanga win a cup, because the tournament, you go there, you grind the result, you go to the next game, you win the next game, you're in the final. And the good thing also, which is, since bengingase aware ukuthi ama-yellow card bayawa-scrap when it comes to from quarter final, of which is a good thing, since we've been also writing too many letters to EPSL abokhoza ngala basiphendula in terms of khala ngama-yellow card because i-team enkulu le ewina ama-cup, yabona ama-cup asheshayo, ama-cup asheshayo lawo ethu lawo, we are always getting affected ku-league when it comes to ama-yellow card because sithola amakhadi ngale emakhadini. Abanye baphuma kusaqala i-tournament abanamakhadi baphuma early, yabazi babize ngamagama musa. Laba baphuma early bakhona, omunye i-host yayo le show. So we've always demonstrated ukuthi into indaba yama-yellow card ibhekwe, and it's a good thing because now it will make best players available for a final or even for the third and fourth matches, because that's what has been lacking in some other tournament. You find that your good players are receiving yellow card on previous matches, and then the final doesn't have your best players to play the final. Of which in Nigeria, I'm not even scared. So the element of surprise at least I'm expecting from Upros. We have beaten Nigeria before, but we have used mostly pace to defeat them. They've got good individual players, good individually, but as a team, they haven't played as a team. Now, but as Bafana njengathi nabo, they've been winning now. Ngalo find leyo, but they've been yet as a team. And I think on this one, if our coach can just come with a element of surprise and also use praise, sometimes just try and drop Mahopa. Umurena can surprise them because they are physical, their big line, they are physical. So in most cases, remember Uranti with Bashara and Murandi, the player that will run off the shoulder. Use Umurena as a striker. He plays there. Sometimes go have Champions League. Sometimes they do use him there. Or Masego, but Masego and Botuzobui. I don't think he's coming. Yeah, see, you can throw in ngale Mashiko on the left hand side. Uta was Belga right where Shishi behind Umurena. And then just try something man different. We've watched 5 games. Surely man, that element of surprise we needed, coach, please.
Okay. Wena uziyela le, hey mara, uvelile yazi. Uziyela le, but it's fine.
Why uphendula le yakho ufuna ungilwisa nabantu?
Yeah, ufuna ukungena ngale yambi. Let me bring in Awusintabi. Polo edlalwang ke Bruce. Is it polo e tshwantse re kenye le ko PSL ko South African football? Ka bane example I'd make ke Morocco Swallows. There shebile polo mona and we're watching them. Hey, bazama go build from komrago. And maybe they should have just said, "Hey, wait, King, this is our team. Are defending. Maybe re tla wina ka di 1-0 tseo."
Why ba tlameha hore ba kope dintho tse o sa tsebeng hore di qadile kae ebile di fella kae?
Hey.
So ha motho le motho a dlale ntho ena a e tsebang, hoba ha o dlala ntho e wena o e tsebang, o tlo tena o tswella, mara ha o copy someone else, ha ona mohla o tlo tswella. Ene Bruce ena ka ntho wa ileng ka yona mo, ke a hopola neng mona o ntse o thuke nonsense football. Ke ene nonsense football e re tlisetsa cup ko gae. So yena ha keep it just there. Rona ke re bua holo fela re sa bone hore na yena o etsang. Yena wa e bona e etsang. So ha etse mono fela he rona re tla thaba re utlwa cup e thewa OR Tambo.
When I was telling you, Horata Kawan straight to the point. Kuma, is there a place for ugly football? Should we see more of this quote unquote ugly cup football make its way into South Africa? I know your coach is doing something similar, and there was a bit of pushback from outside at the beginning of the season, but it looks like it's effective. It looks like Bruce is effective. Should we be looking at more teams doing that here?
And that ugly football at my club, like IRFIAFL.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's I mean, like, I want as a coach, as a team, like you need to learn how to adapt. Back to the Sundowns as an example. How many times have we played beautiful football? Last 8 CAF Champions League. Yeah, as much as we can say, hey, did you see that pass from Morena? Hey, Maram Shishina star. It can't come. Because we played beautiful football, and quite frankly, that's how the Europeans play. If you look at most of their games, they aren't really exciting. They only get exciting. I don't know which team plays beautiful football for Europe. I'm trying to think. Nearly Spain. They hardly play
Spain. I'd say Real Madrid, but it's more reckless than beautiful.
Country.
Rally country,
Grady country.
Most of them.
It's so robotic. Exactly. So whenever it's African, that's like you give us ugly names. It's fine. I mean, like, if you're gonna play football, the aim is to win, right? The aim is to win. It doesn't matter how you got there, as long as it was fair. I mean, like, you can say it's tactics. For lack of a better word, it's tactics. So and the only thing it should also come to SA. I mean, like you use Maragang Swallow, so you're making fun of them. They're trying something to play from the back. I agree, like the unsucceeding, but over time, if they remain to it, they can adapt. So whenever they play a different team, maybe Sundowns, they can try use that, because now, if you don't apply new tactics to your game plan, you start becoming predictable and mundane. So any other form of tactics, I think we should imply, regardless of how people view them, and if it gets results, why not?
Okay. Agent, you know my team, man. My team, and we fight it a lot. And I'm going to reference my team here in SA. There's a football that we played, and that football has been very successful for us over the last 10 years, 15 years, or 10 years. And we fight against it, even though it was giving us results. Now we look at Hugo Bruce doing a similar thing with Bafana Bafana and getting results. We saw Rulani adopt some of those principles and get results. Should the type of football that Abu Hugo Bruce are playing that side, should it be, national team, should it make its way into the rest of South African football?
I'm not being controversial. I'm never controversial myself. I only speak the honest truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. That is me. I'm never controversial. But if you analyze the situation critically and honest with an open mind, you will see that those who are complaining, they're from a certain village somewhere. Only them. And it was them who fired a coach who almost won them a league. It was them. So it is that section of the fan base that is worried about the kind of football we play. Just them, just that small yana corner, that yellow yana corner. Is it gold corner there? They're the ones who are complaining, They're the ones who fired a coach for football reasons, But winners, I mean, people who know how to win cups, not rusty ones, but cups, new shining ones. They know what it means, that, this at the end of the day is about winning, Look at Sundowns. Sundowns, Kumo explained that, we've been playing beautiful football but losing. But Uglani comes in, calls a chameleon, whether it's a chameleon, whatever you call it, it is still ugly football. We are winning. Look at Jose, winning. You know, winning teams play ugly football. You know, and I hate the term ugly football. Who came with the word ugly there? Who put the word ugly there? You know, because like I said, the problem is everyone wants to be a Pep. You know. But all of us can be a Pep. To play a Pep system, it's like playing a Sundown system. There is a lot of things which need to be put in place. There has to be a rounds. This is the news that I want. This is the kind that you have to make news. So this is how you have to play things. You know, like you always say on your show, you can't just copy page 9. You know, of a 60 pages manual of Sundowns. You know, we tried page 9, it failed. You know why? Because like you keep saying. At Sundowns, there is a deep lying playmaker, there's a defender who progresses the ball. So you have two players who are progressors of the ball from the defense, with Allende and Kodzie, and they move it to Ozwane and Ribeiro. Like you see, there is patterns, there is way of playing, you know, and it takes time and everything to master. Can you do that at a national level when you have at most 1 week? You know, and when you call players from only that team that plays like that is a problem, you know. And personally speaking, I don't think it's good for a team to have 11 players from a certain team. It's not good, to be fair, you know. So when you are integrating teams from different
players from different teams.
Yeah, players from different teams, and then you want to integrate them into a style that they don't normally play. It's difficult, you know, because all of us can play the same soccer. Let's be fair about it. All of us can play the same soccer. Otherwise, the game becomes boring, you know. Hence, Liverpool plays a different ball from Man City, you know. And if you look at one of the successful coaches, Mourinho, he won ugly. You know, the question and the bigger question remains: would you rather have an ugly win or a beautiful loss?
I want to win.
You know,
I
I think
win.
exactly. I think because let me say 60, almost at 90. Let's say 60% of the population would say they want an ugly win. It's the 40%. That will want an ugly and a beautiful loss. But anyways, I mean, they're used to losing, so it's fine. It's okay.
Re tlogele bana. Malome Khutso.
Before ke qetela ha ba re Saulos e ne e qala e batla e bapala morao jwalo ka ha e ka re Sundowns e dlala morao le skala le bala hore coach e tloang go Sundowns ke yona e coachang Saulos right now ba tlameha ho etsa jwalo gopela o le ka ho copa everything so it ka ba bohloko nteno ha ile hore rona ka naturena ka batla o ikopa re sa itse at least compela o na le experience ya hore ho tloa mo ho ya kae ho no etsalang that's why na batla go Saulos ba pale that way.
No, it's a very good point, doesn't it? It's a very, very good point. I think now question more comes from yes, question more comes from here solos e batla go build. That's fine. O batla go build, that's great. Problem ya ke hore you're building from the back, mara you're getting caught out and you're losing matches. At some point, man, how do you feel so, you know, let me just win this game. Let me just, I know it's going to be ugly. It's not the thing, but let me just, or for this game, get 3 points. Then it is happy the following game.
I be solo sine ka fa compela chance. Maybe never try this football on a bona Saulos ele one of the best team in after 3 years. Hana ka fuwa chance jwale it lori before ba re ba tshwarang try re motla ka yona abatijelwa whatever ho thwe hae so ha ona mhlang ho tlo dula o lokile.
What's happening?
Okay.
Belile, ufuna ukungena lapha.
No bengithi nje ku Bhudu agent lapho ukuthi No, it's not a problem for a coach to select even 12 players from the same team. It's not a problem because they are not from the same team if you look at it originally. Because see, they joined that team while they were playing for a national team. So it's okay if they, because we see most of those, they've started from a super sport. So we won't cry too much, Anton.
I feel like that should be a question though, because I feel
So,
like for the sake of unity, eh?
no,
But it's
no.
fine.
No, but again, we were just
Yeah.
saying ukuthi that team labadlala yona, they bought them while they were on national team. All those players from Ronald Williams, Vala, Kekana, Mukwena, Maseko, even Lodge. He has played for national team, so you don't say from this. It's fine. They are South African.
No, some
Okay.
took
No,
players who
it's
played
fine.
for national
Hey,
team and now they're no longer there. It's fine, it's
hey,
fine.
wait, Malume Kutso, are you back with me?
Yeah, Mr. Uti, but bana balwana.
Balwana, nakilwane.
Walilwana, guys. We are celebrating semi-final. Yeah. Anyway, Mr. Uti, the controversial point I wanted to make is no longer controversial because a lot of the shades have pointed to it. I wanted to point out, Uti, we've seen beautiful football for 5 years. And unfortunately, when it was crunch time, the beautiful football couldn't crack it until Hugo Bros came into the country. And then somehow the chameleon developed. You understand? The pragmatic way of playing football. We started seeing a more conservative approach. And truth be told, I don't know if it was an influence or it's a coincidence that Hugo Bros and Jose Rivero come into the country and they play this boring, not so adventurous football, and they're getting results. One is qualifying, one almost qualified for the World Cup, and the other one is winning cups. And then a chameleon suddenly develops and then also wins the AFL. You understand? So I think, and if you look at it from a specific angle, the football that is being played by the national team is already filtering or filtrating into the PSL. You understand? And if Sundowns has the best quality players in the league, trust me, if we win the AFCON, these other teams that do not have superior players, that have inferior players, will look at Bafana Bafana and say, what can you do with players who are lesser than your opponents, and maybe approach them in a Hugo Bros manner. You understand? It might somewhat elevate the points tally,
Okay.
but not necessarily the entertainment aspect of it, to be honest.
Okay. Hey guys, you guys wanna go off? I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna close it though. Very quickly, Velile. Nigeria, South Africa, winner.
Siyadlula.
Sandula. Okay.
Siyadlula mntakababa siya ku-final thina. And what makes me sad ukuthi i-PSA la ikakhipha i-statement ukhansela ama-game ungaba ngo-Tuesday no-Wednesday. Ngoba sobe singekho sobe sisasele e-Ivory Coast. Yazi i-PSL
Gibeli
sometimes.
plane uzodlala.
No, siyadlula. Otherwise, if asidluli la, angazi yobe kwenza njani. Otherwise, the football gods will punish us like the Mokaka Swallows and Jomo Cosmos players that they were hit by lightning at George Koch Stadium. So must make sure they've never recovered from that lightning. So hey, must make sure this one siyadlula.
Mashaya Safa House. Ingazi lakithi. Awusintabi. Nigeria, South Africa retsa ngrafita.
Authi South Africa e gotla ka di-surprises matsatsing yana ge o feta fela.
Okay. Okay. Agent.
Ona ge metse cup fela o a re thamba re na taba tse ngata.
Agent.
If I'm a prophet or I'm a pastor in another world and my words have power, I prefer to have no comment.
You're doing that thing. You're doing that thing of yours. You're doing that thing.
In case my voice has power somewhere, somehow, I prefer to have no comment.
You're gonna.
Tla o betcha betway le rona how.
Utloja mhlogela utloja jollof the whole year. Re tla mo fa yona. Let me go to Malome Kutso, we're going through.
Agent thinks he has power. Shouldn't he be rooting for his country?
Oh.
And he must make sure, because some people are here. I've seen them in the comments. Akona Nigeria. But anyway, we are beating them, Mr. OT. Maybe let's take it to penalties.
Okay.
Let's take it to penalties.
Okay. No, thank you, Malome Kutso. Thank you to the panels that have joined me today. My thoughts are very simple, guys. My thoughts are very simple. Am I the biggest fan of Hugo Bruce and his football? I'm not. I'm not the biggest fan. But you can't deny that there's results. And I like to think of these things in the context of coming back home. And I want to use my team as an example. My team, its most successful period in the last 10 years. 10-ish years, 9 years, 8 years, came from very ugly football, quote unquote. A helicopter football, some might say. So it's not to say that all teams must play like this. But what I'm liking from what I'm seeing with Hugo Bruce is that he also realizes that we can play different kinds of football at different times to suit the opponent. We don't need to be beautiful 100% all the time. Sometimes you need to be ugly, you need to take it to the gutter, you need to take it to penalties when you're undeserving. Sometimes you come out and you blow the other team away, as we did versus Nigeria. Sometimes you sit back and you play a very cautious game. But I like that thing, because for me it feels as though South African football, we live and die by a specific football. I'm going to play beautiful football, whether ngiyadliwa, whether ngiyawina. I'm going to play this football until the wheels come off. In fact, I'm going to praise the coaches that play the football, noma bayadliwa. But here's an example that we have right here with the Bafana Bafana. Aubrey Modiba is not playing the football that he normally plays. He's not being allowed to play the football he normally plays in this Bafana. Budau is not allowed to play the football that he normally plays in this Bafana. Ronwen Williams likes to play the ball from the back, loves to play it. Did it once versus Mali. Then Bruce was like, I'm done with this. Kemantemba Zwane is usually, he has people around him that do some of the other jobs, so he's uncomfortable. Mahopa's dropping back and he's dropping back and becoming a target man, a center forward, a guy who drops back, sometimes false nine. He's not comfortable doing that. Percy Tau's playing on the left-hand side of the field. He's not comfortable doing that. All of these players are playing a football that they are uncomfortable with. But it's a football that's winning. It's a football that's winning. And it's not to say you can't win beautiful. With the South African way, the way we love, the beautiful things, the touches. Hey, everybody's happy. Shall we tend? It's not that you can't win with that. But truth be told, we haven't been winning with that. And I think it's high time we come back and we say, guys, at some points, you need to be ugly to get the points. I think this is what Sundowns is doing under Urulani right now. It's not the most... We've sat here and come out and said, this Sundowns is not like the Sundowns of old. The Sundowns, ingadliwa, the Sundowns le, weak, the Sundowns le, 1, 2, 3. We've all been saying these things. They were unbeaten for a very long time. They're still unbeaten. Hey, the league hasn't been on for a while. They've got the most points they've ever had with this ugly football. They've won an AFL with this lesser or uglier football. It may be the answer to our problems that I guys sometimes go and get ugly. Look at the league. Look at the league. Who are the coaches that do well week in, week out? The guys who are consistent every year. It's the ugly coaches. Most of you wouldn't want to play super sport football. Most of you wouldn't want to play Stellenbosch football. Very, very you can count on them. They're consistent. Now, Bruce winner. So maybe we should look into what we deem to be beautiful football and do an audit of whether that beautiful football matches the results. Beautiful football, but when your team finishes 7th and you're wondering how it happened, this is how it happens. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. We're at the 2-hour marks. Thank you to the guys who are watching on YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you to everybody on TikTok. Thank you to the gifters. Unati, Busmuz, the untamed critic. Zeus, thank you so much for the gifts that you sent today. Thank you to everybody who was in the comments. Thank you to everybody that liked the live. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. We'll be back here again speaking about it. And then, of course, on Wednesday, I'm going to do both matches. We're going to start with Bafana Bafana, and we're going to go all through to the end so that we know who we're playing in the final. I hope you guys caught what I just said there. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Please, if you have not followed, please do me the favor of following. Please also follow the other platforms on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you want to be part of our WhatsApp group, where we discuss these things in full, where we discuss these things no holds barred, hey, we banter, we pull out stats, we do all that stuff. The WhatsApp group is available. Go to YouTube, subscribe, click on join. For just 20 Rand a month, you'll be able to join the best football conversations. Guys, just today, we spoke about Rabale from Sundowns moving somewhere. We brought in, possibly moving somewhere. We brought in a video of Sabo Loch, and we discussed Loch and his video, Norulani, where Rulani was showing him stuff. We discussed so many things just in one day. Imagine what happens elsewhere, and imagine what you're missing out on. Also, another perk is Fridays. My members, the people who contribute, get to run the show. It's their show on Fridays. They pick the subject. They come in and run the show as a perk for them supporting this platform of mine. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Support the videos. Bye, guys.